Hello everyone, I'm Steve. Mark's around. Say hi, Mark.
Hey everybody!
And this is Smokey, Steve, and Mark. Either welcome or welcome back, and happy Saturday. It is the weekend, so we know what that means. Breakfast blend of some sort. I want to say New England, and coffee made hazelnut, sugar-free creamer. And of course, you know what else that means. So I hope everyone's well, hope everyone's safe, look after yourselves, look after each other in these increasingly interesting times. We are going to talk today about our fair lady, Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, the Daily Chantal, the Chantal Show, Chantopolis, Foodie Beauty at the moment. Now, she had a very full week. It was a very full week. I don't know that we'll get to everything, but we're going to touch on as much as we can, okay? This week we had some old news that resurfaced. We had some new news. There was some dancing. There was some I can't effing believe that you're playing house with your abuser. Stuff like that. So we're going to take our way through it. Mark will be joining us later for a little bit of a look at where we are really today. She did a live earlier this morning. There may be 3 more since, but that's as current as I'm going to be able to make it for right now, okay? So last week we talked about Chantal's rabid self-centeredness, especially in terms of how it appeared with her grandmother. How, she had a passing in the family, a sad one, and Chantal indicated that she felt close to her grandmother, maybe more so than some other relatives. And she passed, and it appeared that she was grieving by partying and having a good time, and not spending it with her family. That's all we saw. I suspect that she's kind of staying away from them at this point for other reasons, perhaps. Talked about Dom and her being on the outs, because we were talking about, safety words, things like that. That was going into this week, actually. So, okay, we'll talk about Dom a little bit. Because remember, that relationship was abusive in every way. So, and then what was coming up this week, what was on the horizon. And boy, was there a lot on the horizon last week into this one. So, the few things I'm going to touch on heavily, well, touch on doesn't mean heavily, of course, but just cut me a break, okay? Her 9/11 comment was revived and got some attention, and she, of course, denied it and acted like it was 1,000 years ago. And there's some drama that continues, and it's off and on, but it was on this week, between Yabba from the YouTube Underground, French Fry Girl, and Chantal. And this will never end. This will never end. Nader, Dom, who's going by Nader now, and he has his own channel. I'm not going to try to butcher his last name, and I tried to look it up and I couldn't get it right, and I don't want to be rude. So somebody, if you have the phonetics of it, please put it below so I can not be a dick about it. He has his own channel. Christmas came early. Christmas came early. He's now doing streams with her, and he did one of his own, which I tried to pantomime for you. That was about all you missed. Sans paperclip. And that's different. That'll be a new direction as well. And then this morning she was in tears because all of these other things piled up on each other. All of these other distraction from the last distraction into the next distraction didn't work. Whether it was stage an abusive relationship, get out of it, live my life, do what I want, do this, do that. Uh-oh. Another problem, another this, another that. Trip to the hospital, anybody? And now we're crying because we are out of manipulative skills. So we're back to tears again. Just saying. A little sidebar maybe about a sex tape and Nader's channel will go a little further. So the 9/11 comment is not really news. As it's been reported and as I've observed, 2018, Chantal was doing a video. And I want to say it was a mukbang because almost everything was a mukbang at that time. And she had mentioned 9/11, which was the attack on the World Trade Centers in the U.S. on September 11th. For anyone who's not familiar, I think a lot of people are. There were individuals who were on top of the towers who unfortunately had to make a decision about how they wanted to die. And it was stay in the building, or some folks jumped off the roof to their death. And Chantal took it a little more lightheartedly, I think, than most people would have preferred, and chuckled around it, made light of it, and she tried to explain it away, but it didn't really work. She was called out for it, and last year it seemed to be much ado about nothing. The last couple years, I don't remember in September her getting nailed to the wall every time. Should she have? Well, this was kind of an unflattering thing to do. It's not good to take a national tragedy and find something about it to giggle about. Even if it's nervous laughter, go back and apologize, because it's too soon. It is too soon. So she was adamant she didn't say it or do anything wrong. And then her version of the apology is acknowledging that you might have been upset about it, and she probably doesn't feel that way now. The word I'm sorry doesn't come into there at all. Also, her version of acknowledging it is saying, so what, it happened 20 years ago. Or I said it 20 years ago. 20 years ago, Petite Chantal was about 17. Okay. 20 years ago was 2001. I don't know, was YouTube even an idea in 2001? I don't know. And then she said 15 years ago. I'm like, still. I mean, granted, you were doing a little more with your life then than now, one could argue, but no, it was more recent than that. So, and if I said it, my views have changed. These qualifiers totally crap all over anything close to an apology. If I said it, and if you were hurt, I'm sorry you were hurt by what I might have said. That is not an apology. That is blowing bullshit in people's faces. And it's obvious, and it's rude, but, you know, do you, it's your channel. I said something in very poor taste at the time. I apologize. I regret what I said. Next. Keep it moving. It doesn't have, not everything has to be a tooth-pulling fight with subscribers. I mean, really. Sidebar. Sex tape. Now, we knew about OnlyFans. Okay. And that started and stopped, and it's going to start again, so you can pay twice the money for the same content, if not less. We'll see where that goes. As a sidebar, though, there was a discussion of a sex tape, where she may have been with multiple partners, and there may have been some other things involved. Now, when the word broom came out, I was thinking, what in fresh hell can you do with a broom in a sex tape? And then when I started to think about it, I didn't want to think about it anymore. So we're not going to really talk about it anymore. Just keep in mind, sex tape, Chantal, broom. It's enough, it's a thought-stopping thing. It's enough to put someone in a state of hypnosis because it just stops your brain from moving. Broom? Broom? How about plunger? What are you, on cell block C? Like, who does that? I don't... Anyway. So, next thing. Chantal, Yabba, and French Fry Girl. Now, to put all this in context, I'm subscribed to Yabba. I think I'm subscribed to French Fry Girl. I might not be. And at this point, it's in relation to Chantal. If they do content about her, I tend to go look. Now, French Fry Girl is extremely heavy on the Chantal content, to the point where I don't know if she talks about much else. I'd have to go look, and I could be wrong. So I'm not making, statements there. Yabba is YouTube Underground, who I've been watching since she started, at least on that channel. And I've always liked her. One of my favorite YouTube videos ever is her reacting to Chantal doing the Halloween pink wig cheese binge, where she's sitting there, Chantal is telling the story of a suicide cult, Heaven's Gate, and then eating a cheese board. Big. And it's just, and Yabba's reaction is one of my favorites. I don't watch both of their channels now for my own enjoyment, because I don't care for the format. I'm not big on these long, live, 3-hour live streams that people seem to be doing. And it's all creators I like, but the format just doesn't do it for me. I can't watch one that long. Like 3 hours with a single topic. I can hold a grudge. But I can't hold 3 grudge matches 6 days a week on the same person. I don't hate anybody that much. I'm not judgmental about anyone that much. Maybe Nader. But, I don't know. I want to address something too. Chantal dropped a slur, okay? She dropped a slur. I caught this on Just Sayins because it was a minute within. I mean, there was less footage. My God, I think Roots is shorter. Use the R word to describe another person's subscribers, followers, viewers, what have you. Now, that's not cool, and you shouldn't do it again, and yes, you should apologize. Not you were angry, not I was upset, not I don't usually say that word. I said that word, it was wrong, and I'm sorry. That's it. That's it. Because using a derogatory slur against people who have legitimate disabilities, as opposed to someone who collects a new one each year, because why not? It's it's a very different thing. It's rude. It's rude. It's disrespect. It's thoughtless, is what it is. It says, I'll say whatever the hell I want, but don't come at me. You're gonna ability shame, ableism. Shut up. Shut up. That's not cool. I don't hate Chantal, but some of the stuff she says isn't cool, and that really wasn't fucking cool. Okay. And again, I gotta kind of leave that there with the drama, because it's drama. It doesn't. I mean, Chantal said this when she was mad, and then they said this when they were mad, and they called this one and they called that one. It's exhausting. It's exhausting because it's nothing. No one's making videos to react to. They're just talking shit on each other in lives, and it's exhausting to watch. Personal opinion. It has nothing to do with the character or likability of Yaba or French Fry Girl either, because I've laughed at both their channels, and I watch old Yaba before the style of her channel changed. I watch enough Chantal on my own that I don't want to hear too much from anybody else, including French Fry Girl. I apologize. I don't want to hear any more about her than I already do. So, take a sidebar for a second to distractions. Chantal is a good one with distractions. She has a very, don't come for me, kind of a Trumpian way of saying something out there for 10,000 people, 20, 80,000 people to hear. And they all hear it. And then there's video proof of it. And then maybe she deletes the video of it. And then insists 80,000 people misunderstood what she said. That she didn't say something wrong. We all misunderstood it. Okay. No. No. That's not how that goes. And assume everyone who misunderstood it was a hater. It's probably more like the VIBs are justifying it to justify their support of her. People can get unconditional support, but that doesn't, it's that love me, love my addiction crap is what drives family members away. It's what drives other individuals away. Mind you, the whole time this is going on, she's intermittently high throughout this period where all this stuff is going on. So she's probably a little volatile, a little loose in the tongue. I don't care how loose in the tongue you were, the R word's not okay to use. But anyway, have I used it? Yes. Is it okay when I've used it? No, it is not okay when I've used it. Whether it's in the room with someone who has an intellectual disability or not, it's a habit I should get out of. It's easier for I cracked it a few years ago, for the most part, because I work in the field, mental health, and there's folks with intellectual disabilities. They used to call it retarded. They did. There's a lot of counties where you'll see the county mental health authority is MHMR for mental health, mental retardation. Change is slow. Change is very slow. But change happens with us, and by choosing our words. Just saying. So, we can all grow and get better if we try, if we want to. But the distraction of, there was the 9/11 drama, and then there was crap with Nader, throw me a paperclip, blink twice if you see me struggling. Add in a sprinkle of poor mental health, a trip to the ER, some cat shit on the floor, that didn't go unnoticed. Maybe a bruise or two. Like, all of that together. It was one thing to distract from another thing, to distract from another thing, to distract from another thing. And then when none of that worked, this morning she's crying. Because all the other, I'll scare you, I'll frighten you, I'll intimidate you, I'll whatever, nothing was working. So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But people feel really manipulated, I believe. Viewers feel manipulated. People who are loyal viewers, maybe, but they're willing to forgive for reasons of their own. Family member she hasn't mentioned much. I don't know if they have contact with her. It's none of my business, but it can affect her mood or affect her ability to cope with stuff. I don't know how much she was in touch with her family, but if she's not in touch at all, it makes you feel like an outcast. I was never cut off from my family, though, in my addiction, because I was an asshole, but this is, you know what I mean? Dragging people through this whole Bobby and Whitney thing is just, it's not cute. It's not cute. On that note, Nader has a channel now. God, the hits keep coming. That deserves a cigarette. So, he has a channel now. Now, I have a couple questions about the channel. And if there are known answers, please leave below. Whose idea was it for him to have a channel? Hers or his? Who benefits from him having a channel? Her or him? He'll have some money coming in. He'll hit 1,000. I'm sure he's already got 1,000. If he hasn't, he has. It's there, just out of curiosity. So he'll be monetized. Where will the AdSense go? If he has his own money finally, because do you ever hear her say he had work today? he was supposed to be a chef, then a sous chef, and then, I don't know, maybe he cooks at home. Whatever. It doesn't seem like he has to be anywhere anytime soon. So, just saying. It's gonna get messy. Because he likes women. He likes to control women. And I'm just saying, I've met 1,000 naders. He's no desert blossom. He's very garden variety guy. Trust me, I date guys. I am a guy. I know how we are. I've met 1,000 of them because I've lived in and around people in active addiction, out of addiction, and some people are just not nice people, even if you wring the drugs out of them too. So, still my opinion. He's playing her like a violin. That he is. That's just my opinion, though. That's me. You know, she might like being Big Mama and pay for everything and pay for the rent, her rent and his rent, pay for the party favors and pay for all that stuff. If I paid for his rent, his food, the party favors, what else? Clothing, shoes that you can actually show a receipt for. If I paid all that stuff, he'd party and play with me because I think he's an opportunist, pretty much. She has YouTube as a job and he has her. If she stopped hanging out with him, he'd be alone for about 2 hours before he'd find another person, I think. Just saying. There was a video with him dancing in the car, which we gave a nod to in the intro to the intro. And she's there with him. She did a bit of showing off of her gentleman friend this week. Now, Nader, I'm not going to comment on his appearance exactly, but one could comment on some scars on his arms, perhaps. I'm not talking, I'm just saying. He's rather thin. He doesn't dance poorly. His taste in music is okay. The music he was dancing to in the car is alright. I did get the impression it was like Baby's Day Out, like she took him out and bought him clothes and showed him off and that kind of stuff. But it was it's bizarre. It's bizarre, it's cringy, it's quirky, because 5 days ago there was a safety word where if they were both on camera together, she was going to show an item so people would call the police. Make that make sense. To you. Make that make sense. And don't try to do it when you're on edibles. Try with a clear mind to reconcile that. I mean, what would Chantal say to one of her girlfriends? Whoever. Close, far, online, in person, whatever. If she, after 5 days of calling her, said the guy's gonna kill me, went back on. Well, this did happen. Never mind, it did. It happened with Shannon. And Shannon put her on blast for it. To which BB, according to Chantal, gave Shannon credit and said she might have saved your life. What is all this drama and life-saving and this and that? If you're going to turn around and go back to him, you have to understand people are going to think poorly of it because he's been painted in a poor light. Someone doesn't just stop being abusive a week later. That's not a measurable amount of time to see progress in someone. Yes, every journey starts with day one. Yes, it does. But he's got something to prove if he's ever put a hand on you. And, oh, they're just sex things like sex bruises. Sex bruises. Yeah. Sex bruises. I have a family member who was a victim of domestic violence, sexual abuse. When they were older family member, when they were younger, they were involved in it. And it had gotten to the point where the abuse was so bad that the person said what felt like power to her was to say to the abuser, hit me anywhere but my face. Because if you hit me in the face, everyone can see it. And if you hit me in my body, nobody can. You get backed, I think folks get backed into a weird position sometimes where they think that's control. That felt like control at the time. Hit me in my face, but nowhere else. Or hit me anywhere but my face felt like control. I think she's just backing up to her little what feels like control to her. And I don't know. And by the way, he straight fat shames her to her face. She thinks it's the people in the chat. She's the one saying, I had a dream I had a six-pack. And he was like, yeah, in your dreams. They spend the time talking about food, nutrition, and what she likes and what's hungry about. She would never sit and talk in a chat that long about that. She'd be plus size and beautiful and wouldn't give a flying shit and order a Nashi. But he's in the room now and they're going to talk about good, healthy food and activity. And we're going to do it together and he's going to help me be a better person. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. She's like half apologetic for her size in some videos. And here's what I think, because I do know some guys like Nader. First of all, this channel is not going to be good for her, because women are going to come on to him. And he is a man. And not all men are scumbags, but ... So, would he be... People are going to send him... If only to troll her, there will be some folks that'll send him pictures. Just to piss her off. But, he doesn't seem like a one-woman kind of guy, you know? Especially when there's like one woman on the curb, and, you know, there's another guy offering money for nudity. Like, there's other people involved in all that stuff. I suspect that when he's talking about girls with her and showing her, oh, this girl is online, isn't this girl this? I believe 100% he's showing her pictures of skinny girls. And then it makes her feel like shit about herself. And she doesn't say anything. And why she talks about eating better when he's around and being active when he's around. And this culminates in a crying stream that she had this morning where she had said, I just want to be accepted for who I am by this, by partners, by that. She thinks he thinks her, I think she thinks that he thinks she's fat, which is not news. You know, don't rip out the front page or anything. But it's going to become an issue. She said she was going to get on the scale and it was 299. She's got 30, she's plateaued, which I don't believe, in the 330s. She looks like she's gained weight back. Not a ton, but enough to see. And men can be blunt. I wouldn't put it past Nader if she said I lost 30 pounds and he looked her dead in the face and said, no, you didn't. And she would take it. She would take it. He talks about weight loss. She doesn't eat when she visits him. And part of that, I think, is the drugs. But another part of it is she doesn't want to eat in front of him. At least not now. She was over there having some nashies and a few treats. And it was a little like when they were at his place. But now I think she's like hyper vigilant about what if he leaves me because I'm too big. He was supposed to have liked you that way. You know, did he just like big girls? Did he like girls in any size? Did he like any girl who liked him, period? He's not exactly a catch. He's a scrub. Hanging out the passenger's side of his girlfriend's ride, hollering at, you know what I mean? So, no, I don't like Nader. I don't. And I don't like him because of the things she said about him. And here's the thing. If she's telling the truth about that, get out. If she's not telling the truth, don't date Chantal. Because the first time she gets mad, she's going to turn her camera on and trash you to thousands of people. Abuser? You know what I mean? If he is, get out. If he's not, shame on you because you just dragged a man's name through the mud. Completely. So, that's what I have to say about that. But given his, I mean, so, you know how you can just look at someone and you kind of just know bad vibes, bad juju? I just feel that with him. I feel it with him. I kind of feel it with her too. But I think you can excavate a heart out of her eventually. I mean, she'd have to actually be engaged in the therapy she's been teasing. But I think with a good 6 years of treatment, she could probably be okay. But she'd have to be into it. He, him, who cares? Who cares? So, and then the last part I wanted to talk about, the come down from all of this, because we were projecting here that it was going to be a big blown up kind of week, that the shit was going to hit the fan and things were about to get big. And then they did. They got kind of big and out of hand. So the come down now. Now this morning she's in a live. So after all of this, all the fighting with the reactors, all the get me out of this relationship and, you know, get me out of here if you see a paperclip, all the where he's trying to make me a better person. Oh, fucking kidding me? You're gonna get a life coach who's unemployed, doesn't have his own place, can't come to see you because he doesn't drive. What's there? I mean, what's there? I mean, even for such a snob that she can be time to time, she will settle for so little. You know, that tells me all I need to know about Chantal. When you look at the company she's keeping, like that just lets you know right there, I think. So coming down today, she was crying because, again, we tried distraction, we tried boyfriend stuff, we tried abuse, we tried reconciliation, we tried going to the hospital, we tried drama fighting and nothing. We tried to get off the 9/11. Like every one crisis was to get attention off the previous one, and there was like 5 this week. So now she's home crying, wants to be in bed, doesn't feel comfortable, Doesn't feel like herself. Says well, we'll bring Mark in for this. Hold on. Mark!
Yeah!
Dearest, come hither.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Do come hither.
I'm here.
You guys know Mark?
Hey, everybody!
And his nice shirt.
Oh, yes, I...
Show the shirt. I love the shirt.
Very appropriate.
Breaking the stigma of addiction.
Yes. Let me see if I can...
There you go.
There you go.
Very good. So, we went through as much as we could of Chantal's week, because this can't be like an hour video.
Right.
But we tried to hit the finer points of it, and she was with Dom, and it wasn't going well, and all of a sudden now they're gonna go paint rainbows and drive across country, or whatever the fuck they're gonna do. She was upset about drama that was going on.
Yeah.
Apparently she went to the hospital. That was a hard. that was a hard bit of info to find.
It was hard to find. Yeah.
Because I'm like, I didn't see it at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, was this a late night live? If you have details of that, please also comment below so we can all be abreast of it. Because I dug, and all I could find was another reactor who said they lost it too.
Yeah.
So these other things going on. And of course, she seemed to be in relatively high spirits a few days.
She did.
And we talked before. She's open about her use of edibles, which her therapist said is not a good thing to do. Her therapist had said it's not a good thing to do.
I believe her doctor did as well.
Yeah. Oh, the doctor. You're right. Excuse me. Said try Remron.
Oh, right.
And she was like,
yeah.
well, who do you know who's right and who's wrong? Well, you're going to look for someone that agrees with you so you can stay stoned.
And how about a medical professional giving her accolades for her career and her life?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
whatever. So, going forward, that brings us to this morning when I'm watching most of this and trying to stitch it together. And Mark's with me. And then live this morning, she was crying. I think it was called Something I'm Crying, and she was crying. You know, there's 1,000 of them. But this was today's.
Yeah.
And she's just worn out. Now, she looks like she had a good time last night. And today she looks like...
She looks like she was up for about a week.
Yeah, she didn't look good. So, I don't know. Where do you want to take that?
Well, you know what I did? I took the live stream and I kind of summarized it a little bit, and I made a little clip out of it just with some points, and I thought we would show it, just in case you haven't seen it yet, and then maybe we can come back and maybe touch on a couple points.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, here, check this out.
All right, we'll put it here.
I'm okay. I just wanted to come on here and talk about the mood I've been in. Oh, you didn't, Brandy? Is it Saturday today? I'm just gonna go brush my teeth real quick because it's really gonna bother me, so just give me a second. I've just been feeling really crap lately when I wake up. I just feel overwhelmed a bit. I don't know what's wrong with me. My mental health is not good. I just don't feel good. You know, I have a boyfriend who wants to make me better. I just feel like I can't. I'm physically scared to improve myself or something. I just want to lay down all day. The sun makes me angry. Literally, I don't like going out in the day. I know I want to change. That's the thing. I want to change. I want to be better. I want to be healthy. But I don't know. I just don't feel like it, you know? I just want to be loved and accepted for how I am right now. By everybody. Society, lovers, everybody. I think it's because at night, when I take edibles, I just numb everything, I'm act silly, and then in the morning it all hits me. Anyway, I feel stupid. Kratom, I don't know what that is.
So,
yeah.
So that happened.
Yeah. Let me just say one thing because it's probably on everybody's mind now because it was right at the end of the clip. Kratom. The last thing she needs right now is to try kratom. Let's just put it that way, you know.
Not a good time.
No, it's not. So I took some notes here of what went on, and I thought we could touch on them because it was upsetting. Mm-hmm. You see that if you've never seen her before, you see that live stream and you have sympathy for somebody who is hurting. You know, you do.
Yeah, out of context.
We have been watching this go on now for months and months and months, and this is a track record, and this is going to continue on, these highs and these lows, okay? So, you know, one thing that I need to point out that it really struck me as, like, quite concerning is using her chat and her live streams literally as therapy and support, which is just not a good idea in my opinion at all. She has people that will tell her exactly what she wants to hear, justify her use, justify her behaviors, allowing her to continue and think that nothing is wrong, you know. Let's see. Okay, so in there she says, is it Saturday already? Again, it goes into the whole she's just living in her own world, has no idea what's going on, okay? I'm feeling like crap when I wake up. And I'm feeling like crap when I wake up. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay, so, you know, it's called, you know, what do you want to call it? A hangover? I don't know. Yeah. It's a direct result of the behaviors that she did prior to this. Yeah. Okay, it's not like she just doesn't feel well or whatever. This is a come down. This is a hangover. This is regret, shame, guilt. I need to change my life. I don't know what's wrong with me. What day is it? Da 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 da. You know, that's what's going on. I just don't know. I'm just overwhelmed.
With what? I'm on your side, but you gotta make a list of the things that are overwhelming. I'm sorry.
Right. Now, okay, so most of you know that I do work in drug and alcohol, and I'm also a person with a substance use disorder myself. 8 years removed now from that, and I understand her feelings. I understand what she's saying when she says these things. Overwhelmed. Okay, you know, she really doesn't have a lot going on in her life right now. Okay, no. But the feeling of being overwhelmed is real whenever you are in this state of mind.
If you feel overwhelmed, you might as well be because you're stuck.
Right. My mental health is not good. You think? Do you think?
What are we doing to help it?
What are we doing? What are the action steps we're taking? Okay, it's not going live and asking, for support. That's not it. Okay, I have a boyfriend who wants to make me better. Now, let's take a look at those words. I have a boyfriend who wants to make me better. Do you want that yourself?
Do you want to be better?
Okay.
Do you want to be his version of better?
Right, exactly. Now those choice of words, I mean, that goes into the whole controlling, abusive type of relationship that they have, okay? I feel that I just can't. I'm scared to improve myself. She's scared because she's basing it on what he's telling her to do, and she's afraid that she's not going to be able to live up to it.
Yeah.
My opinions. I'm just saying this is, I've seen this before, and this is how these type of things always end up playing out. All I want to do is lay down all day. And then she gets into, I don't like the sun. I don't like going out in the daytime. It's always the same type of thing all rolled up. I know I want to change. I want to be better. I want to be healthy. I just don't feel like it. That's very unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate.
Again, I understand the feelings of being overwhelmed, knowing that you need to do something, but not really knowing how to do it. I mean, I get that, okay? To just blatantly say, I just don't feel like it is another whole story. That's another thing that needs to be worked on.
That's a matter of motivation.
Right.
More than anything else.
It's so unfortunate. Okay, so I just want to be accepted by everybody, society, and lovers.
He mentioned her weight. And that's why she's talking about it in the lives, and that's why she wants to be accepted by lovers, because he called her fat, mentioned she was fat, thinks she should lose weight, or he's showing her pictures of skinny girls. Yeah. She would say "fuck you" to a whole chat room of people who came down about her weight.
Right.
She wouldn't cry.
Yeah. What this is it's just all reinforcing the type of relationship that they have.
Mm-hmm.
This is an abusive, controlling relationship, and it's quite unfortunate. You know, you know, what she wants is, in that statement alone right there, what she wants is, I want to be accepted by everyone. What she wants is that everything is okay. What I'm doing is okay. She wants support. She wants people rallied around her. She wants that little safe bubble that's saying, no, you're not a bad person. You're not. Just keep doing what you're doing. Everything is okay, because she feels outside of the picture. She feels outside of the box. She feels when she's coming down.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a rough place to be. I mean, but you know, it all comes down to action. And you know, at night I take edibles to numb myself, and then that's probably the reason why I wake up like this. Okay, let's just nix that right now. Of course, yes, she does take edibles, but she's leaving out a very important point here. She's taking more than just edibles. Okay, I am still standing behind what I said, that she is using more than just edibles. Okay, and more than THC as well. I mean, you know, like smoking and taking the there's more going on here. And you know, until she accepts that, she's not, you know, and says it, accepts it, and takes action, this is going to keep going on. It's really quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know, again, I do see this a lot, and I see Chantal in several people that I'm working with currently. The difference being is that, you know, this is all happening in real time in front of us every single day, and it's a series of high and lows. Crashing, I'm a bad person, I need to get my life together, I want to do all this stuff, up a little bit, I'm gonna film videos, I'm doing Vlogtober,
I'm hyper and you're gonna get it.
And then all the way up to the top of the righteous, I want to do my own thing, mind your own business. It's a very tough thing to continue to watch. It's a very tough thing for people who care about Chantal to go through, and to continue to support and love somebody who continuously does this thing. And that is the nature of addiction. That is the nature. These things happen over and over again. You know, the symptoms of addiction are things like this. You know, they're mental. A lot of them are mental. And when you have family involved and people who care about a person who is in active substance use, these things, you know, are going to happen, and it's very, very difficult to do, or to deal with, I should say. What's next for her? Unfortunately, it's going to be more of these ups and downs. She's starting to have some more severe consequences of her actions. The lows are getting a lot lower. You know, the live stream today was pretty low. Pretty erratic. A lot of it did not make sense to just the casual person watching. It's very unfortunate. Again, nothing much is going to change. We're going to see these continue on unless something drastic happens, and it will.
I think there's a lot of people, unfortunately, because of being dragged back and forth with her sturm and drag, who are actually waiting for something bad to happen. Almost in a karmic sort of way.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know.
But it's not a surprise that people feel that way either.
No, it's not a surprise at all. I do hope that
Could you blame them? I don't know.
I do hope something drastic happens to her.
Doesn't kill her.
Exactly. That will kind of snap her back to reality and make her take some kind of action for this. I do not believe that the doctor told her that, you know, if she even went to the doctor, who knows. I don't believe that doctor was like, oh, you have a wonderful career. What, your YouTube channel? Did she watch your...
Did she watch last week of the YouTube channel?
Again, she needs that reaffirmation. She needs that, you know, she needs that where she's at right now.
Yeah.
And she's trying to get that everywhere, you know. And well, she's telling us this, you know.
Even the doctor said you're on the right track. Oh, dear Jesus. Go to a different doctor.
Yeah, please. But, I don't know. Again, take a little bit of action. Something. Reach out for help. in the professional world.
You'll have to admit by doing that someone knows more than you. Brace for it.
Absolutely.
Professionals study and are in that discipline, so we don't all have to know everything.
I wish every time I sit here, I wish I had some words of wisdom or some positive things to say. But
don't waste them.
Unfortunately, it's not where we're at, and it's not.
She's not willing to listen at this point, so we're kind of just talking around her.
And
Maybe
what I
she'll watch
saw
later.
this morning was a person who was in, come down mode. There was, there's nothing that's going to be improved, or there's nothing positive gonna come from this.
No.
I think we're at the end of the month here in YouTube world.
21st is coming in a few days.
Coming in a few days. I don't know. I do know that she said at one point, we're supposed to get together and work on ourselves and do stuff today, and but I just don't. My first thought was, she's broke. Yeah, they were going to get together and do stuff on her dime, but she doesn't have any money because it's the end of the YouTube month. I don't know if that's true, but that's where my mind went because of everything we've been seeing. And I'm trying not to shadow my opinions with all of that, but it's hard whenever, week after week after week, it's the same old, all different. But it's the same.
Yeah, it's just repackaged with new lipstick and a different hair color.
And just real quick, Kratom, I know I'm just going to say this because I know I mentioned the word and people probably don't know exactly what it is.
Maybe.
I wrote some stuff down just so, because we're seeing an increase of Kratom use here in the U.S. And we've been taking some trainings on it as well, of how to treat it, what it is, and all that. And Kratom basically is... it's part of an evergreen plant, okay, and it of the coffee family.
Oh, really?
In the coffee family, and it's basically what do you call it? Native to Southeast Asia.
Okay.
Okay, and it is a mind-altering substance. Okay, it was used for many years. Thousands of years, medically as a medical herb, but we're talking, years and years and years ago.
Eastern
medicine. And, they've tailored it so they know how to use it, okay? It does have opioid properties, okay? When taken in higher doses, yes, you can feel euphoric, okay? And you can get that opioid feel from it. In lower doses, it has a stimulant-like effect, okay? It's being used more and more recreationally here in the U.S., but it is not regulated at all. We can go right down to the corner convenience store, and there's all types of Kratom that you can buy. Everywhere. It is not regulated. The side effects are severe from Kratom, and the problem, because it is not regulated, is that you do not know what you're getting when you buy it. You don't know what else is in there. No. Much like meth, it is a hodgepodge of all kinds of stuff that is detrimental to your physical and mental health. It is not a good thing. I think there are positive qualities to it. I do think that with the proper research and that it can be used, particularly in the world of drug and alcohol for treatment, but we're a long ways off from that, okay? It does have serious side effects no matter who use it. It is a controlled substance in Thailand, Australia, and Malaysia. In the U.S., there was a proposal put out to be banned at the federal level. That is still in negotiations right now, and U.S. studies are being done at the moment. Worldwide laws are rapidly evolving with it as well. Now, as far as Canada goes, where she is, the only thing I could find about Kratom in Canada was the sale or importation of it is a violation of their Food and Drug Act, resulting in different types of consequences for using that. One of them is you will be denied re-entry into the country if you illegally import Kratom to Canada. So that's a little bit about Kratom.
Good stuff.
So,
well, thank you, Mark.
You're welcome. I talked too long again. I apologize.
Don't worry, you're the one who does the editing.
It's true. Bye, guys.
If that was too long, you'll never see it. So going forward, let's see, in 7 days, she could get a PFA, get it taken down, and get married, apparently. So, who knows? To continued use, she'll keep using her edibles, I imagine, smoking here and there. I don't know. Hi, Pete's. I see you. I hope you came out of your room today.
Oh, poor Pete.
Poor Pete's. He's got to listen to all this dumb shit going on in a house that he's on the lease for and pays rent at, while this other guy squats in the other squatter's bedroom. So, I don't know. I'm thinking of you, Pete's. James. So, coming up on next week, I don't know. Could it come closer together? She'd start having to have these things happen to her like every 8 hours, and at this point it seems like they are. So I will be tuned in, and we will see what we will see. I'm not optimistic, but I am present. We will be here to see what happens. If you have any other thoughts or opinions, definitely do feel free to leave them below, of course. And I think that's where we'll leave it for today. Uncle Steve's a little tired, so thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell on your way out so you get alerts when we have new videos and also when we go live. You can follow us on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email address and our contact information is all listed below as well. Thank you again, and we will catch up with you tomorrow. We are going live at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's pretty chill usually. We have good mods, open discussion. Usually Foodie Beauty comes up and a couple other people. So if you're free, feel free to stop by. Thanks for watching. Bye. Say bye, Mark.